and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I'm Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And we're the team behind Yarnia, and this is our podcast all about yarn and stuff you can do with yarn and knitting and crocheting and all kinds of fun stuff. We are, again, on a little bit of a time crunch on this rainy day.
Last time we were not on a time crunch.
No, were we on
We were.
No, we were.
Not last time. It was time before last.
Time before last.
Yes.
Okay.
A bit. Well, I don't know.
You can tell. The editor knows.
Yes.
But also,
she's like, I'll take those
time.
minutes.
The length of the episode. So
Yes.
also, one other thing we like to say is if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're a new viewer, welcome.
Welcome.
Happy to have you here with us. And we hope you will find some useful information and some inspiration, perhaps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's jump into what's going on around town because we've been super busy.
We have. And actually, I think, did we say from Montclair, New Jersey?
From Montclair, New Jersey. We're from Montclair, New Jersey.
Well, we are a
Not
local yarn
California.
store located in Montclair, New Jersey. Exactly, not California, where Haley
That's
was in Montclair, California.
Was she really?
Couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
wow.
It
Every
is.
time
It's
I Google
the
search Montclair High.
yeah.
comes
You come
up
up with California.
Absolutely. We're
It is-
like, I don't think we offer that.
Literally down the hill from the road, from where her friend's house that she was staying at over
Oh,
spring
that's
break.
so funny.
Yeah,
Funny.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome. I think I did say Montclair, New Jersey.
Yeah. So we're
You
near.
probably did.
I don't remember. It now is like automatic, and I don't remember where at first I was like, I can't retain a single thought in my head, so I'm like, I need to read it for like the first 2 years.
Yes.
Mhm.
Then
But then we change it, and then
I know. Then I'm screwed. Sorry,
So.
sorry, kids.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know where Montclair is, it's relatively outside New York City, which is where I need to go at 12:58, and it is now 11:30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so it's our time crunch today. I have to
Yeah.
be on the train, literally walking to it just over there.
Thankfully, that is a short walk, and you don't have to cross any streets, which is what always dings
No,
me.
you do.
I mean, you have to cross the
You have
little
to just-
street.
you have to cross
Crossing
the
less
little
street.
street.
Plaza, not a big street.
But you don't have to like try to cross Watchung Avenue, which
Mhm.
is what could take you 15 minutes.
True.
Yeah.
And we are 12 miles west of New York City, so we are really close.
We're
We
really
are,
close.
we are there.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm
Frequently.
like more businessy today. Although I took off my jacket and put on
Mm-hmm.
a little Noro cardigan.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a
Super
little bit.
cute.
Yeah.
Super cute. But let's talk about what's going on around town because we're prepping for the Wool Walk. New Jersey Wool Walk
We are.
is coming April 17th through
The 21st.
21st. Oh,
So that
it's
is-
right in front of me.
That is a Wednesday. Well, I actually, I don't know why, but those dates did stick in my head. It's a Wednesday through Sunday this year. It's 5 days, and there are 22 stores participating, 21 besides us.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It is
That's
a lot.
awesome.
So if you are anywhere local to New Jersey, even New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, whatever, come on down. There's a lot of great stores to check out, including ours. We hope, of course, you will come here.
We're a good starting point too, because we're kind of like middle.
We are. I mean, there's definitely a few things north of us, and definitely things west of us. So certainly anyone coming from east of here, we are a great starting point. We're not too far from the Garden State Parkway.
Yeah, we're super
Which
close to
a lot
the
of-
highways.
And it's even got the same name as our street. The
It's
stop
true.
is Watchung Avenue, which is
Crazy.
our street.
Crazy,
So, so we have our Wool Walk passports on sale on the website right now.
crazy.
Yes.
Yay.
And you can also do the Passport Plus collectible bundle.
Yep.
So-
that link will be down below if you want to
Mhm.
pre-order your passport.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that.
Yep. And you can pick it up. Actually, you do want to be sure that you pick it up before you start the Wool Walk. If we are going to be your first stop, absolutely, that's fine. We'll have everyone who's purchased them online here available for pickup either before the Wool Walk or during the Wool Walk.
Yep.
Mhm.
But you
Yeah.
do need the passport to get discounts at all the stores. So
If we're not your first stop, you might want us to send it to you in advance, I guess.
yeah, that's true. People, we certainly can mail them along with our regular packages, or if possible, swing by.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And the collectibles are these really cute stitch marker holders.
They're so
Yes.
cute.
Which I found out on Friday night fit on the front of the DelaQ bag.
Yes.
So
Perfect.
here's a photo
Yeah.
here
Throw that in.
where I put my little yarn with the Yarnia collectible
Mhm.
stitch marker. I have both the New Jersey Wool Walk collectible pin with the dangle
Mhm.
and a stitch marker on the front of my Della Q bag right now.
Yes.
And everyone else will be able to get the stitch markers once We'll Walk starts.
Yes.
We have early access.
I did give them to all of our team members, as a anyone who's working during We'll Walk got one of these as a thank you for working during the craziness of that. It is crazy and fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. We love
it's a good
seeing
thing.
everybody. It's really great. I think it's going to be a really fun time. And we have a lot of yarns on sale.
Yep, it is our big opportunity every year, or like every half year, because we do the same kind of thing at our birthday sale.
Yep.
If a manufacturer has discontinued it, and we would still be carrying it if they hadn't, it's on sale. If we have decided for one reason or another, it's time to swap something out, move something else in, all those things go on for at least 30% off.
Right.
So
we have a lot at
a lot of 20% off. All of our commercial
22.
brands. Barocco, Jadif, Roro, and things that we can restock easily.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
But
put
it's a
on
great,
sale at
it's
20% off,
great
and it is
to get deals.
in store.
Yeah,
That
we don't do
is the
anything online.
Except
You
for
can't. That's right.
virtual knit night on Wednesday.
that's right.
the
That's right, and that
17th.
everyone can participate in this.
Yes, we have a fun event planned for virtual knit night. We always have virtual knit night on Wednesdays from 7 to 9. This time we have a special game during virtual knit night.
It will be very fun.
We're playing Family Feud.
It's so fun.
So I've done pub quiz for probably 4 years,
Mhm.
and frankly, I'm running out of questions.
Mhm.
So, I was like, I don't want to do questions again. But
well, these are a different
it's
sort of
totally
question.
different kind of question.
Well,
Yeah.
This is actually super handy. Are you going to put the link to
I
the
am going to put
survey?
the link to the survey down below, and if you guys could, that would help me so much.
Yeah, if you
can
could help us fill out
take a minute, fill out the Family Feud.
your answers.
100 crafters survey. Come on, guys, I need y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to hit 100.
Let's see how many.
Top
we
5
get.
answers on the board.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
I love it.
Give it
I'm
like
excited to see
survey
this.
says.
I know.
Yeah, so please contribute to the answers now, and then join us on the 18th. Go to our website.
17.
Oh, you're right.
Wednesday.
17th is the Wednesday, the first
17th.
night. I thought you said 18th before, and I
And
didn't
it's on-
think. Of course, that's Thursday.
On Zoom, so everyone can join.
Anyone can join from
wherever
anywhere.
they are.
Exactly, and you can. We'll have to. I don't know if you already have thoughts on how you're going to separate people into teams, or
Well, I think, like I said, I think I'm going to have people like on teams in advance. So if you're feeling, I think I'm going to have a knit team, a team knit, a team crochet. That's my plan right now. And probably 3 or 4 people per team. So if you're feeling exceptionally extroverted and want to help host, also
cool.
drop a note down below, and we can
Yeah.
put teams together. But you sort of have to have that set in advance, like who your teams are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Tonight, but we'll
and-
figure it out.
Mm-hmm. And there's at least one more. There like 2 more knit nights before that where people can join.
Yes,
One by
so
the
you can
time
join
this
in.
comes out.
Yeah.
Just get to know the knit night crowd and all, and see if
Join
you
it.
want to do
hang
that.
out.
Yeah.
Always looking for more. That's going to be super fun.
yeah, but there's
Um,
no knit night in store that night, so everybody's
Correct.
gonna go home and watch Family Feud.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, I know.
Feud.
Family Feud.
You're gonna have to please delay for a few minutes while I get from the store to my home.
I know, right? Otherwise,
Um,
Kathleen will be like, I'm on the phone.
Yeah, no, we probably. I mean, as
You'll
Anybody
welcome
who's-
everyone, and
anybody who's
Yeah,
like
There's a preamble
joined these before, I almost always wait till 7:30,
yeah,
right? Because
that makes
to
sense.
start the event.
yes,
Yeah,
sometimes people
that's fair.
need to get the Zoom passcode or
Yeah.
like,
Yep,
oh, what's the link? And
Yeah.
I want to make sure everybody can really enjoy it.
Good.
Everybody.
Good, good.
Situated with their beverage of choice.
Yes,
ready to go,
whatever that might
et
be.
cetera.
Yes.
I have a feeling I know what mine will be because that's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day. You're going to have some booze.
A good
Mine will
long
probably
day.
be a cup of tea because I'm going to be hosting.
Yeah,
Phew.
and then you can have your cocktail
I
after.
don't know. You don't think
Yes.
Richard Dawson was a little tipsy when he had
Oh,
the original
totally.
Family Feud?
It might,
Totally.
I'm like,
it might enhance the.
I mean, it's no
Nature.
match game.
No, it's not.
That should be next year's
Oh my
match
goodness!
game.
I was a little concerned to do match game. Frankly, I don't know if we
I
can
would-
keep it PG.
No. Well, I mean, that's the point of match game. You're not supposed to keep it PG. It's supposed to be insane. Oh my goodness, I'm tangled. I'm tangled.
no.
No, my little butterfly came undone, so I need to redo my butterfly.
Fix your butterfly.
Fix my butterfly. Meanwhile, do we have anything else around town that we want to chat about?
Well,
Or
the other one, if you're in town for Wool Walk, actually what's coming up even sooner, starting I think this weekend, is the Cherry Blossom Festival in Branchbrook Park.
Yes.
That starts on I think it's the 6th.
Saturday is indeed the 6th.
Yeah.
It's Jean's birthday.
It starts on the 6th and it goes through the 14th, which is the next weekend. There's fun runs, there's bike rides. Abby and I, the Girl Scouts, are some of the ambassadors for the trees and for the park. So Abby and I will
Nice.
be out in the park on Saturday the 13th, fussing at young children to do not climb on the trees.
no, these are not climbing trees, people.
Yep, these are looking trees, looking
Right.
with your eyes.
Taking
My children.
pictures with people's phones if they want
Oh, nice.
photo opportunities, you know, things
Yeah.
like that. Just
Mhm.
general greeting and directing people around and things like that. So
Fun.
that's Abby and I will be doing that on the 13th. But
Oh, that's gonna be
Um,
fun.
yeah, so that'll be great. And if actually, so the official event goes through the 14th, but the Wool Walk starts the 17th. If you're in the area, it's like literally a 12-minute drive away.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely beautiful if you've never seen the cherry blossoms at Branchbrook Park.
They're gorgeous.
Which were a gift from Japan to the city of Newark back like over 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep adding more varieties and like
Mhm.
supplementing the collection. But they're
Mhm.
very beautiful and definitely worth a drive through.
Yeah,
or stop
if you're
and
in this
walk
area.
if you'd like.
Yeah,
to check 'em out.
exactly.
But
And-
it's nice that you can drive through too. So even if it's
Oh, yeah,
a
you
rainy
can
day,
totally
Yeah.
drive through.
you
Exactly.
can still see like the
Yeah.
cherry blossoms.
We usually wind up doing it as a drive-through, unless for some reason we have spare time during
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah. I figure Abby and I will be ambassadors, and Chad will take the little boys and run around for a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm,
go wear them out.
And one thing I've heard, and I don't know, I probably heard this when I went to the Cherry Blossom Festival in Newark at some point in the last 5 years. There are more cherry trees there than in DC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it's substantial. There are a lot.
Yeah,
So,
that's great.
and I do love all the different varieties. You
Some of
really
the
can
old
see
ones are
them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They're
So
amazing.
pretty. They're so
Yeah.
pretty.
So,
Cool.
all right, so
Well,
that is another good thing. To
We are keeping on our schedule
All
today,
right.
so let's dive in.
I love it, Jen. You're wearing the time cop hat.
time cop.
I'm relaxed today.
I know you're
Why?
like, oh.
I'm just trying to go with the flow.
Oh, I forgot to say what episode it was.
Oh yes, I forgot to ask you.
I have no idea.
Well, it was a very kind of fun number last time, if you remember that.
125,
Close.
124.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay! It is. Indeed.
Oh yeah, it was 1,
it was
2,
1, 2, 3
3
last time. Yeah.
Again, it's like retaining
Goldfish.
information is very goldfish.
Well, also I do our little sheet, so I type it. So
You
it's
type
like
it,
that,
so you
that
remember.
definitely helps
That
me
would be
remember.
a fun little long sometime. Have you ever seen Goldfish Memory?
yes,
yes,
goldfish memory
yeah.
is so
Mhm.
cute.
It's an oldie but
Casablanca,
goodie.
right?
Yes.
That is a
Yeah.
good one. That would be a good movie.
Yeah.
Good along.
That's a great idea.
Oh, I
We should
like
think
that.
about that for the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good summer note along too because
I like
it's
that.
like bite sized.
I am writing that down.
Yeah.
Because if it does not get written or typed, it does not remember. Get
100%
remembered.
forget, and then come back to you guys and be like, "Didn't we say something about a knit along?" Type it below. That's our question for the week. That's not our question
What
for the
did we
week.
forget?
What did we forget that you guys retained?
Could remind us. of.
Um,
exactly.
2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. So let's talk about finished objects.
Yes, and what we're wearing.
And what we're wearing.
Yes.
All right. So I do have actually several finished objects.
Ooh,
But first I'll talk about what I'm wearing.
yes.
So this is a Noro. This is a store sample. I did not make it, but I don't know. I was really lazy
Cute.
this morning, and I was like, I'll find something at the store to wear.
Yeah.
So it is made in Noro Ito, and it is the Mitered Jacket. I believe I looked at it before, and I forget. Yep, the Mitered Jacket. It can also be made in Viola, which
Yeah.
Oh, that
Amanda's
would be
wearing
nice.
something in Viola right now. And yeah, it's kind of fun and kind of squishy and kind of
Pretty.
Yeah,
I like
it
those
is.
colors too.
Garter on the sleeves too. I wonder are those sleeves
Yeah.
work flat?
I would work them flat.
yeah, I would
And seam
too.
them.
Yep, and they're seamed. Yeah,
Huh.
it's
That's so fast.
and look, it's seamed on the outside. That's kind of interesting.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah,
So you get a
because-
little edge.
Yeah. So I will show you the tiny things first that I did. So I think last time we were together, I was still working on Jean's hat.
Yes.
I believe
you
are.
are. You are.
Yeah. So Gene has a new hat inspired by the hat Jen made for Jonathan. And he really loves it. I let him wear it this weekend when we were in Massachusetts. Well, because he sticks it in his pocket. He's,
Right.
he's
He
out in the rain with it.
Jonathan too, where it's like,
so it's
like it's used.
I want to keep it a little nice looking until we show it.
Right.
And I did put a picture on my Ravelry already. So this is some of Northlight leftovers from a sweater that I made for him. And then this is the Pasquale Tibetan in the lead color and cream.
Isn't that Tibetan so nice?
It's so nice. It's
Yeah.
so nice. And then, so of course I had some leftovers of the cream and the lead. And so I made one for myself.
Love it.
Which was my plan, I think, when we were last together.
Yeah.
So this is the Spring on My Mind hat.
Yep.
But also incorporating Jen's classic hemmed hat.
Yep.
Edging, which I love.
Love a hemmed hat.
Yep. And I did on jeans. I kind of did a little, little kind of hidden contrast.
Yeah.
Partly just because I was trying to conserve this yarn. And
when you're like, how much do I have?
and I think it's just kind of fun to have like a little detail that no one else sees on the inside. But with mine, I just did the gray all the way. Mine is the same all the way through. And then actually I used a skein of Donegal wool that one of our customers brought me from Ireland.
Oh, it worked perfectly.
Which I loved. Yeah, it was really fun. And actually the funny thing is these are the colors shown in the pattern.
That's 100%.
But it's totally my colors. So like I would have come up with this even if there had been other colors in the pattern.
Yeah.
So, and I love that like this matches my kind of everyday jacket that I've been wearing almost the entire winter.
It does.
It does. It does.
You have a palette.
But the funny thing is when I have this gold jacket with a totally gold hat and then my gold sneakers, sometimes I feel a little bit like too gold.
Dressed as a crayon.
Exactly.
That's what I used to say to Max when he would wear red from head to toe, including his red sneakers. I'm like, you look like a crayon.
Dressed like a crayon.
Yeah. I don't.
Like, yes.
I don't enjoy the dressed as a crayon look. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to break it up a little bit.
Let me tell you, that's a style.
Hold on, guys.
It's a QE2 kind of look, right?
Yes. Oh, totally. QE2 was totally into being dressed like a crayon.
Right.
But I love this because I also love the gray, and then it's got the little pop of gold to tie in with the coat, and sometimes the sneakers.
Yeah.
It's a little highlight, and it's that's such a good colorway anyway. Like, I feel like that
They're so soft.
yellow with the white.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's the
Big Rainbow fan. Yeah.
It's really good.
yay. Ta-da.
So yay, hats are done, and now we are truly in April, right? It's
My mobility is not as good as it usually is to get in and out.
Because you're in a pencil skirt, it's a little harder to
harder.
leg around. It's still cold though.
It is still
and
cold,
today.
but hopefully we're not going to have too many more days we can be wearing these. But
yeah, Jonathan was wearing his hat this morning when he took George for a walk.
Yep. Then I have one big thing that is finished, and it is truly finished now. It is my Ariana throw, formerly Ariana cardigan. So let's, you want to go
team
put it in
effort
front and hang it up or hold it up?
Right.
All right, I'm here. Do it this way.
Oh, that's a good size. That's a good
which way are we doing it?
Let's turn it this way.
This way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I didn't even measure it.
Oh my goodness! It's
got
just a screensaver now, guys. Just take a shot.
Take a shot.
This is your new
shot.
It would be fun as a screensaver,
right? It would be.
So,
or laptop cover, like I do mine.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's funny. I bought one and I never even put on the old one. I think I need to do this. Yep. Let's hold it up again.
Love it. I love on the diagonal. You can see like it almost is like a little flower.
Little
motif
flower.
with
I know. I love the way
black
it
sewing.
makes the circle, the black. So I was all the way around. I just did 3 rows. I did a row of single crochet and then 2 rows of half double crochet.
Yeah, that's good.
And
That
with
looks great.
about 15 inches left, I was out of black.
Nah.
But I did the red. I had a little bit of red left. It's
And it's a little
it's
pop.
fine. It's a little. I do still have a couple of ends. It's podcast finish.
I'm sure a major design brand would do that.
Yeah.
Like intentionally.
I know, exactly.
Absolutely.
The thing that is slightly annoying though is that I thought I started on the bottom, so I thought it was going to be on the bottom. It's fine. It really does not matter. I am certainly not redoing it.
It's fine.
But
it looks
yay!
great.
I'm so excited. So now this is going to go on my sofa in the living room,
Yay!
which is the very same red as this red,
It's perfect.
coincidentally
It's perfect.
and weirdly.
And that's a good watching TV size blanket.
It
right?
is
'Cause you can
very
just be
cozy.
like-
It's really nice, and it's got a little bit of weight to it. It's funny.
Yes.
It's like Lucky Tweed in general. So yeah, I didn't say this is Lucky Tweed.
Yeah.
Kelburn Lucky Tweed, which we love, and crochet. Just given the nature of the stitches, there is a lot of yarn in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't even know how many. This is probably at least 10 skeins of yarn.
Yeah.
So, so you figure it's probably like 4 pounds, right? Is that no?
Yeah, maybe 100 grams.
It feels so. Anyway, happy to have this finished, and I do think I will do the Ariana cardigan at some point, but with a much lighter yarn too. I think I'll go DK, and
because then
or maybe even fingering. I don't know. We'll see. Just because like we said, the nature of the stitches, there's so much more yarn in there, so it's like even with fingering.
Yeah,
we'll see. So to be determined, but I will probably make it someday. But now I have a blanket.
Now you have a blanket.
So that is it for finished objects for me.
All right. I
How about
only
you?
have one finished object, but I am wearing it.
Yay! It looks so nice.
It's the Timbo Vest, heavily modified.
Yes.
Thank you. It's done in Cardo, and I think I used like every inch of what I got, which was 5 skeins.
Sounds right.
5 skeins. Sounds right. Cardo is so nice to work with. Mm-hmm. It's like almost elastic. It's so springy. So this makes it hits like just below my waistline, slightly cropped. I have to figure out how to style it, but I think that's just me figuring out how to style that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I have it on over a t-shirt. Because it is warm,
really
but like
cute.
not crazy warm.
Yeah. Keeps your core warm.
Yeah,
Like,
keeps your core warm but not sweaty.
Patagonia vest that all
All the
tech
tech
bros.
bros.
Yeah.
Roll my ass, tech bros.
I know, seriously.
But thankfully does not wear Patagonia.
But it is a functional,
It
piece
is.
to keep your core warm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pleasant.
And it's so nice and stretchy in the broken rib, which is really nice because at first I was like, how do I want to block this? Do I want to block it wider so it comes up a little bit? Do I want to block it longer so it's down a little bit? But I feel like there's a lot of flexibility. So I took off the mock neck because I don't do mock necks.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. And so I took the numbers in the pattern as a loose suggestion. Very loose suggestion. I basically cast on enough for the neck. I used a tubular cast on even for the stockinette portion just to give like a little one
little
row
rolled edge. It's very pretty.
of 1 by 1 rib.
It looks
and
nice.
then I did short rows in the back. Probably 6 or 7 sets to raise the back up and really to lower the front so it was choked.
You don't get that choking sensation.
Yeah. And then I did however many, I did the methodology of the increases just until it was this wide, like just below, not as wide as it's written in the pattern. It actually blocked a little wider. I could have done a little bit fewer because I wanted it to sit more like a set-in sleeve traditional arm side rather than a long, wide dropped shoulder. So I went only to here and then I went down. And then I did increases here to shape a traditional set-in sleeve. Set-in sleeve or, scoop sleeve. I did that on the front and the back. And then I took Kathleen's trick of the underarm stitches are all stockinette. Because I thought that was a nice
That is
look.
really cute. I like that. That should be part of the pattern.
It should be part of the pattern. Like my numbers actually would have worked out from where I was with the increases. That I could have joined and had the pattern be unbroken. Like I didn't have to fudge any numbers in that. But that was just. I mean, I was always planning to do the little.
I think it looks so nice. I like the continuation of it from the shoulder. It's just
echo of the shoulder straps.
And the reason I originally did it was that I couldn't find where I liked it. Like once you cast on the sleeves under the stitches under the arm, like there was no place where it looked good to me to just leave that in stockinette and then start the rib. And I was just like, we'll try it. Just continue.
Keep going. So it was super relatively quick. I'd say like
very
2
quick,
weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think I put notes in Ravelry. I don't know if I did. I don't know if I even have a project in Ravelry. I think I might. I don't think it has photos. I'll see what I can do.
We'll see. We'll see if we can take some pictures of Jen today and then
Yeah.
then she'll
And I'll
that
update
is actually that is one of my tips for like how, for everyone always says, oh, Kathleen, you're so good about putting things in Ravelry. Normally I always take a picture as soon as I start something, so even if I don't start the project right away, I have photo evidence of when I started it, and then I can go back and create it.
Yeah.
Though I'm almost done with this, and it has a project with no pictures yet. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, I'm terrible about that. I'm terrible about it.
I took photos. Remember I said as soon as we finished the podcast last week that I was going to go home and take photos?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I did it.
You did.
Yay!
So now my cardigan number 6 and Fullerton have projects with quite nice pictures.
All right.
That's right. You put
Good.
put some of
I
those
need-
Fullerton pictures into Dropbox, and I put them up in the newsletter.
Yes.
Because that's coming up. I have a
Because-
deadline.
Yes.
Amanda or Kim will be teaching a class on Amanda's Fullerton Vest, both online,
Mm-hmm.
so you can join it from anywhere as a Zoom class, and in store if you want to do it in person.
Right. Yeah. And I have to incorporate everybody's. I have had 0 time. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a
That's
busy
your
time.
deadline.
It's a busy time.
So anyway, I'm going to have to do that during our vacation. At least go through them and start compiling them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or that's,
I
also
gave
have
you
to
mine,
edit
right?
this
You have
podcast
mine.
on vacation. Yes.
Yeah, next week for us is
It might not actually happen. That's what takes up all my time. It's like month end and podcast, and then it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
poop.
you're like, that's the couple hours that I had earmarked for this.
I know.
Yep.
And there's nothing left.
No.
Anyway.
No.
So that's all I have for finished objects.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was something. It was something at least. It was good. How about you, Amanda?
I have no finished objects. I have a half object, but I'll get to that, I guess, in whips. I'll tell you what I'm wearing.
Yes.
I am wearing also a Noro. So I came today with a black work jacket. And I thought this would look more festive for our podcast.
Yeah.
So this is the Jessamine bobble cardigan. It was a Noro. It was a Noro magazine. Oh, come on, guys. That's not as good. It was in Noro magazine number 19. So
But I do think it's online now. I think it's available through Ravelry.
yes,
I think
yeah,
so,
it
too. Yeah,
is.
I
But
think
it's helpful.
they've-
Actually, you can look up. Sometimes these are not. This one is called Jessamine. which
It
you can
actually
look
has a
up.
name that you can easily find.
Yes.
Yeah,
Some of
it's-
them are like vest number 16.
Exactly.
And you're like, really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's helpful to know which Noro mag it is
Yeah,
because you
even
can
this-
search in Noro mag and just use the drop down on the left
Right.
Yeah.
to
If you know which
find
issue.
which
Yeah. And this
issue it is.
This is issue 17, which I might or might not have said.
This was the cover,
It's
actually, on
17.
the cover of
Yeah.
19.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We sold a lot of that yarn once that issue
It's
came
really
out.
cute.
This
It
uses
is nice
Viola.
yarn.
You can
Mhm.
also use Curion for it, though.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
find a colorway that you really like.
Yeah.
Curion and Viola are super similar. It's just Curion's in a 50-gram skein, and
Mhm.
Viola is a little bit longer. Yeah, 200 grams, and it's a little bit longer, color changes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like the I don't know, the Viola feels like it has a teeny bit more body to me,
Mm.
but I they're definitely like the same basic weight.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Crayon is like very flexible almost to me.
Mm.
I don't know.
Well, it's very loosely spun, minimally
Yeah,
processed
yeah.
yarn, which is one of the
Yeah.
really nice things about Noro as well.
Exactly.
Is that there hasn't been a lot of the fiber hasn't been abused.
Yes.
For sure.
Very natural
Manipulated.
feeling.
It's very similar to how it came off the sheet.
Yes.
And obviously, it's fine next to skin. This is a short sleeve,
Uh-huh.
and yours is as well. You're right.
Yeah.
You have short sleeves on. Or you
No, I have
you
long sleeves on. I have a
turtleneck?
turtleneck.
Well,
yeah.
it's funny. I always found, and I know folks sometimes are like, "Oh, I was looking for something less rustic," or talking about like Crayon or something in Nora. But I feel like it really softens up and becomes buttery. Like as soon as you block it, like when you're working with it, you're like, "Okay, I could see how like it's fine for next to skin for me, but if you were a
Right.
delicate, dainty little flower, maybe not." But like once you wash it and block it, you're like, "Oh no, wait, this is nice," and it feels like
Yeah.
butterier.
Yes.
I don't have a good description. For
No,
it.
Well,
I
this one has
think-
been worn a
I think
lot.
that's a good one.
This
Yeah.
is Abby's favorite sweater, so she wears it around the store.
In the
every time
store.
she
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah.
Ha, I found my other lace right. There we go.
Aha.
Aha!
Aha, I found where I messed up on my lace. You found your yarn. We're back on track.
It's discovery time. Okay, so let's hop to whips.
Let's have to whips. And
Because we've all got whips.
Why don't you start, Amanda?
Okay.
Because you didn't get to talk too much about anything finished.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, because I didn't finish anything. Ta-da!
That's all right.
I'm taking out a knit 3 together.
Oh.
Okay. My half-finished object. Ta-da! Train knitting!
Yay!
Yay! So I finished
All
my.
right.
I'm blocking your face.
You're black.
Is my Crafter Gamer Geek sock. I finished it. This is in the this is in his sock base, David's sock base, which we now have several colors in store.
Yay.
I don't know if I'm going to put them all online because we only have like 1, maybe 2 of each. But if there's something you'd like, drop us a line, send us an email, give us a call, and we can show you what our selection is.
Yeah, we send pictures
Send a
to people all the
picture.
time.
Yeah. But anyway, this is Helen Stewart's. Oh my goodness, this back and forth today's going to kill me.
Normally
We can push the table a little more if it helps.
This is Helen Stewart's Altitude sock, so it's got these really cute little chevrons up at the top.
Cute, yeah.
And I figured out my stitch count, so it starts at 60 stitches, which is wrong. And then I did the heel flap and messed it up, and then fixed it, decreased in my adjusted way that I talked about last time. And then the rest of the sock is fine, so I got back to 64 stitches. So
Socks are flexible, you guys.
Yeah.
they are,
Knitting
but
stretches.
And also you want negative ease, right?
yes, but not. I would really rather have a 64 stitch negative ease, not a 60 incher on my foot.
Uh-huh.
So are you going to make the second one to match that one? Or the
Yeah,
second
I am.
one
I
is
would.
supposed
Oh,
to be?
yeah.
I would totally make it to match too.
I would
because
too.
otherwise
That
I'd
would
be like,
drive me crazy.
This is the loose one.
I
and
would
this
feel
is
it.
the tight one.
Exactly.
I'm making it to match. And so I've already gotten through all of the pattern up here. I'm halfway through my
Nice.
heel flap.
Nice.
Like I said, this is just my train
Speaking of your
knitting.
train
So
knitting, yeah.
every time I'm on the train, I'm working on this. So that will finish up soon. I was on knit night on Wednesday.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was like, well, now this is just my train project. So I have all my train projects lined up. This is going to be my next one. Do we all remember this sock?
I do.
I don't.
Yay.
Sorry.
This is in
Because it's a lot of purling.
springtime.
Oh,
Yarnia.
yes. I made that pattern, didn't I?
Yeah, you started it? Did you start it? or
No, I
you
did. I
finish
think
it?
I made a whole pair.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's so much purling.
I
This is
know.
rolling.
Well, or maybe I made one very similar. What's it called?
I forget the name of it. I'll put it down below, but it is a Helen Stewart.
Yeah.
Okay, no, then the one I made it was when we had spun right round sock,
Uh-huh.
and it's a very, very similar pattern.
Yes.
But it's not that exact same
I'll
one.
put it
Yeah.
down below. But this is my second sock. Does anybody remember, like, 8 months ago, I was like, I cannot find the second sock, so I can't finish
Yes,
this one.
I do remember that.
I was talking about this on knit night. I have this much left over. I think this is the first sock. I don't think
Could
there
be.
is.
There isn't a second sock. Yeah.
I bet you're
That's
right.
possible. That's
I bet
possible.
you're like, I got so far, I finished that sucker.
There were so many pearls, it must be the
It
second
feels
sock.
like it has to
It
be the
feels
second
like it.
sock. Yeah, that totally
I
makes
would,
sense.
I buy that. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
if you
what
once you
I
finish
think.
the sock, if you weigh the sock in the ball, I bet you got 100 grams there.
Well,
I
because
think
this is the leftover from my
Birds of a feather.
Birds of a Feather. Yeah.
Right.
So
Oh yeah,
you're
so you
totally right.
definitely that is the first sock.
That is not a
I'm
birds of
such
a
a
feather
dum-dum.
plus a sock plus 3/4 of a sock.
Right. I'm such a dum dum.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
not even
It
3/4
happens
of a
to
sock,
all of us.
like
it's almost done.
7/8 of a sock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Toe.
Anyway.
Toe of
Yeah.
a sock.
So after I finish these, then this is going to be my train knitting. I will have another pair of socks very soon, and I'm happy about that because I sort of need some. Because for some reason I wear my socks a lot,
Mhm.
and I have now a stack of like 4 pairs that need holes mended.
Mm.
We'll get to that, but I
Well,
was
also-
going to do
also-
mending in March, and then I didn't.
Actually, and we
Mending
have a
March.
request from one of the local schools for somebody maybe to demonstrate mending. So we'll have to
Oh,
see
that's
if
fun.
that's something we want to investigate.
Yeah.
Maybe do
That would,
if
I mean,
the timing works out.
I have a stack. So I have socks to mend that just need some Swiss darning.
Mm-hmm.
I have socks to mend that have proper holes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a sweater to mend, a commercial sweater that has some little moth holes in it that I'm going to do embroidery over.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the
Cute.
whole spectrum
gamut.
of
You have the
mending.
invisible to visible mending.
That's right. Yeah. So it's all ready to go. It's just I need to find the time. Because, I feel like I should document this whole process. So
Yes.
Anyway.
I think a document of that would be awesome.
Sounds like a blog post to me.
Well,
Right?
I was about to say it sounds like a YouTube live.
Yeah, there you go.
That sounds fun.
That works.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. It's not imminent because I'm traveling too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, like, socks really kind of are such a fantastic commuter travel project.
Yeah.
Just because they're small.
Yep.
You're not going to, like, and honestly, like, if you're commuting and you want to, like, you have sharp needles in your hand, nobody's going to talk to you, which is nice. And you're like,
I really hope
it's
helpful.
Hey, businessman, don't sit in that middle seat. I have stabby sticks.
I know, I really do hope
Very
that
tiny
people
points
don't
of
sit
sticks.
Right? No, I mean, that was
I mean,
like,
of course, I'll take my.
if it's
I'll put
crowded,
yes,
sure.
of course.
But like when there are empty seats and the dude sits next to you,
You're like, no, just don't.
you're like, can you not? Can you not? And also, I have stabby things. Yeah.
So, anyway, and then after that, I'll be doing the Crafter Gamer Geek hats for Beth and
Nice. Yeah.
Josh.
Thank
Yes, for Beth and
I was
Josh.
like, I'm not.
Yes.
That'll be fun. I have my. Well, this is the problem with the trunk shows is that not that that's the problem. I now have color reel
Yep.
sock yarn that's earmarked for socks, and I have Crafter Gamer Geek sock yarn that's earmarked for socks, and
Yes.
then
I know, same. Well, or I have
oh,
yarn for both of them earmarked for different things. I should have actually brought my Crafter Gamer Geek yarn as a thing for this past weekend, but
oh yeah, that would have been good.
I didn't.
You were traveling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring. All right, so now I'm committing. I'm going to bring socks, perhaps multiples, on my spring break trip because
There
that's
you go. Yeah.
small,
Yeah.
portable, easy to pick up, put down.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think too hard about it, but it'll also give me something to do.
Yep. I'm
Especially
not
in the cold.
bringing socks on spring break. I'm bringing what I'm working on now on spring break.
Well, I don't want to pack my whole sweater.
Well,
That's
yes.
fine.
No, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm packing mine because we got deadlines, people.
Yeah, deadlines. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what other whips do you have?
Yeah, so I am also working on, which is what I'm working on right now, behind the skeins for
Yes.
anybody who doesn't want it to be spoiled.
So pretty.
Yes.
So spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. If you
Four.
are knitting along with Helen Stewart's 24 birds,
Mm-hmm.
so
Do we know why it's called 24 Birds?
because yes, I forget why.
It's the 24 blackbirds.
There's a painting or something.
Okay.
Or a book with 24 birds.
It's a
Birds of a-
William
24
Morris
birds of a
inspired
feather?
kind of thing,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
24 birds of a feather or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds okay.
Anyway, so if you don't want to see it, skip ahead to the timestamp below.
It's so pretty.
But okay, so anybody that's still here wants to see my shawl.
Yay!
I'm gonna put some pearl strings on real quick. I started this during Knit for Food. So it came out, the clues release every week on Thursday, and then I started it on Saturday during Knit for Food and got most of the way done with the first clue and finished it up on Sunday. So it probably took, I would say, total 8 to 10 hours of knitting.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be 6 clues in this, and the first and second clues are a little bit shorter than some of the later clues.
And actually, one
That
thing we
makes
should
sense.
say is thank you to anyone who we know some of our
Absolutely.
podcast
Yes.
watchers did donate to Knit for Food. So thank you so much. We really appreciate
We
that.
hit our goal. We should say that.
We did hit our
We
goal.
hit our goal, and a Knit for Food hit their goal.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And everyone should have gotten an acknowledgement. Knit for Food made it really easy to acknowledge everyone. So we did
Yeah.
send out little personal notes. So if you contributed, hopefully you did see that. So
Yeah.
thank you much.
Thank you guys.
All right, back to the hidden things.
Oh, it's so pretty. I love the colors that you picked. I love how they're working together. They are
Very pretty.
freaking stunning.
So I'm using La Vie Anime in 4 colors. This is Glacier, Nymeria, and Dusk. And they are very close in tone. And I'm blending from the cool through the neutral to the warmish, even though that Dusk is sort of a cool pink.
Yeah.
And then my pop, because we haven't used this yet, but my pop is Winterfell. So that's my yarn. And the first big surprise for this shawl is that it's a pie shawl. So it's done in the round. We started in the middle with actually with a magic circle, like a crocheted magic circle, and then picked up, you can start knitting in the round in several different ways. That's the method that I used. And then, ta-da-da, that's what we have so far. That's how my yarns are blended together. It starts with the glacier in the middle. There's some Nymeria here. I'm working with dusk up here. But that's how far I am. I'm in the middle of Clue 2. Like I said, I'll be working on this during spring break because I'm traveling with the fam. By the time this podcast comes out, I will be heading home tomorrow. So, but the Clue comes out while we're away. I don't want to get behind.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. I mean, that's a long flight.
Yeah.
Sitting around the airport, like whatever. So it'll be super easy.
You'll have some good knitting. Knitting's going there.
Timing, actually.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
I really love how that's shaping up, like from the blue to the neutral to the dusk. I mean, I love all of those colors anyway.
Yeah, so pretty.
I love the dusk.
Yeah, and I love Helen Stewart's lace. It's not intense at all, and it's like you can see me knitting on it here, right? I did check my phone for the beginning of this round and did one silly thing like at the beginning, but it's easy to. And my stitch markers, I have stitch markers all the way around that delineate every 2 repeats. So if I get off, I know.
You know pretty quickly that you're
I'm
off.
off.
Yeah.
Interesting. You do every 2 repeats.
Well, that's because it started every 1 repeat at the beginning.
Oh, gotcha.
And then once we increase, like you double your number of stitches every once in a while.
Yeah.
So now it's 2 repeats between. It might eventually be 4, but I just need like
You need
some
some
markers.
way stations.
I end up needing it's probably just also my completedness where I'm like, I need one at every repeat.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, otherwise I feel like, am I missing something?
Oh.
Did I do it every 2 repeats? Like, again, I can't retain anything. Goldfish memory. And it's just, plus also then you get the satisfaction of you're like, okay, 1 down. Okay, 1 down.
But it depends on what the stitch count is, I think, for something like that too. Like sometimes it's almost like too many. So I think the every other is a good alternative for certain things.
I think anyone who took the retro sweater class with me would be like, oh my god.
I don't care how many there are, I'm doing well.
How many stitch markers. I was like, we had stitch markers all over the place.
I do. I think Haley still does. Remember, she started that class.
So many.
Once she graduates, she will finish the sweater.
And she had swapped out the honeycomb pattern where I had like literally a stitch marker every 8 stitches.
Yeah. But hers, what she swapped it out for was
way more complicated.
Was no easier. Yeah.
But fewer stitch markers.
Yeah.
Larger repeat.
Possibly.
I see another one.
Yeah. So I'm just going to give you quick updates on the other projects I'm working on. I'm working on Fine Line.
Nice.
Which now is a very, very, very simple round and round and around.
Nice.
Right? So this is what I work on under my desk when I'm on Zoom calls.
Nice.
Cool.
Because I just have to do a decrease every 10 rows until I'm out of stitch markers. So however many decreases I need to do, on the first decrease I
I love that tip.
attach all the stitch
All
markers
your stitch
here.
markers.
Such a good idea.
And then when I run out of stitch markers, then I'm done.
I'm like, oh, I hit the number I need.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
And the sleeves are just straight stockinette.
sleeves are with the decreases every once in a while.
But
Yes.
no.
But not purling.
No, well, no.
Well,
but
not
there
mostly
is at the end. It's quite a long 1x1 rib at the end to make it a little balloony. So
Cute.
I'll get to that eventually. But right now it's a very pleasant round and round and around.
Yeah.
This is great. So that's the update on my Fine Line. It's by Lily Kate France. That's moving along. And then I have cables for you guys.
Ooh, cables.
Yay. Yeah. I worked on, this is my knit night project. I've been working on Chad's sweater.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Roy Sweater.
You did mention something about that.
With
Yeah.
the cable,
So now I
last
have
time you were on the ribbing.
I have
Oh,
2
pretty.
repeats of the cable
Nice.
pattern done.
I love it in that yarn.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
So nice. This is
Tosh Vintage.
yes, but the pattern is Noro. It is, I'm thinking, I have a word in my head that's wrong.
it's really pretty.
Denali.
Right.
Yes.
Norgon, Queen of Cables.
It's like Elgin, and I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah. But it
Oh.
sounds like one that she would do, right?
Right.
Elgin
It
totally
does. I wonder
sounds
if she
like.
has one.
Maybe
If not,
that is one.
But I'll show you guys
Looking
what
for
these
future.
cables look like.
It looks beautiful with the variegation.
nice combination of
Yeah.
pattern and yarn
Yes.
and color.
I'm glad we switched yarns. I'm glad we got a whole new yarn end to accommodate my pattern.
Yeah. Hey, we needed a new one.
Yay.
Sometimes
Time.
we just need a little kick in the pants,
It
and
was
that would
time.
be Amanda being like, "I want this one."
Yeah. So
And
that's
we were so hard to convince, right?
Yeah.
So we're like,
We're like,
"Oh well,
oh great, we get to pick new colors.
twist our arm."
yeah. So that's progress on this. It takes me about 2 hours to do a repeat. A repeat is 16 rows, and there's only 2 cable rows per
Wow.
16 rows.
That's
That's
nice.
nice.
That
I
makes you
know,
zip right
right?
through it,
They're
right?
gone.
So yeah,
We
it's
need
actually-
cables.
Well, but sometimes like the sweater, like my
That nightingale.
nightingale, you
Yeah.
have to look at every single row. Something happens.
When there's a
Front
cable,
and back.
yeah,
Oops.
when there's a cable turn at like every other row, it gets really tiring. But like when you're, got them nicely spaced out, and that's 2 repeats, so you can like see
Yeah.
how many repeats you need, how long it is. So it's about what, like 2 inches
Mm-hmm.
per repeat
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah, and I like it because it doesn't even look like it twists at the same place, just the way
No,
the
it
Yeah.
cables are.
The way
It
they're
just,
structured.
but
Yeah.
I mean that's
They're
very
such a
clever.
nice. I love cables. They're like magic.
There's a lot of movement in it. I like this sweater. It's enjoyable. I might not say that by the time I'm working on the front, the end of the front, right? Like
Maybe
after
not.
my 50th cable run.
There's something to appealing about working the cables flat too, though.
Yeah.
Because you can keep track of it easier. I think you mentioned that in the last podcast
Yes.
too.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the other thing I'm doing. Like every time I get to the beginning
Mhm.
of the chart, which now I'm right at the beginning of the chart, I move my stitch marker on the very edge to the last row of the chart. So now I can just count how many rows are above the stitch marker in the stockinette, and that's what row I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and this could also be a nice thing to do if you're like, you could put a progress keeper in after a stitch marker in as a progress keeper after each repeat.
Yeah.
So you can just be like, I am now
Yeah, your
4
markers.
repeats out of 8. I am 5 out of 8.
Yeah.
I am 6.
You can definitely do that. I'm using my Sailor Mars stitch marker.
Aw. Anything to gamify it.
Sailor Moon. Well, that's anime, but yeah.
I know.
So
Close enough.
that's what I have. Woohoo! So, oh yay! And it's 12:18. So if I have to dash, y'all have seen all I have to talk about today.
I don't have a lot of whips, so. All right, my we're gonna jump to
I have whips and frogs.
my ooh. I was like, that's a special section that we have about.
Whips and
I have my Eva cardigan.
I love it so much.
So pretty. I love your colors.
So
So good.
I've got a sleeve done.
Oh my
Yay.
goodness! I can't believe it.
Yes, neither can I. Let's be real.
It's
neither can
so pretty.
So it's curling a little. It's a V-neck cardigan. This is from my sweater class. We're doing either the Eva or the champagne cardigan or a mishmash of both. This is still slightly like it's bracelet length, but I
Yeah.
was like, I had to be particular. And it's funny, I did the opposite of what I instruct students to do, where I'm like, figure out how you want your sleeve, do the math, make the sleeve. I was like, let's start by decreasing every 8 rows. Now I need to go up more. Let's decrease every 6 rows. That looks good. This seems like a decent length. Let's
start decreasing.
I really winged it. I did write it down so I could repeat it on the same, but I wasn't 100% sure what silhouette I wanted for the sleeve. To be fair. Like, cause
So you let the sweater tell you.
so I let the
right?
sweater tell me, and kept my waist yarn in case I was like, well, screw that, I'm ripping it out.
That's why I really like putting stitch markers in my sleeve as I knit them, because at least
Yes,
I can
you
visually
can
see what I did.
exactly.
I just look and I count them.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, you're better than me.
no,
I do this. I do the stitch marker
It's
thing
easy.
now.
I mean, in a light color stockinette, it's easy. In a dark color, textured, not so much. But I literally just look and see.
Sorry.
So this is when the sleeves are done with this, and I'm working on sleeve number 2, and I'm very, very close to the end of sleeve number 2. I mean, I count elbow was close.
Yeah.
The next step will be the button band, which I'm going to do as a vertical knit button band. So I am not bringing this with me.
Yeah.
On vacation. But I will be bringing my other one. Oh, I should say, Eva cardigan and champagne cardigan are both petite knit.
Yeah.
Eva has like a modified set-in sleeve silhouette going on. Champagne is raglan, and I'm doing this in the La Bien-Aimée mohair silk in Springtime at Yarnia, and the Matache wool cycle sport in paper, which I really like this combo.
It's beautiful.
Like a lot.
Such a good
Good
choice.
Let me take it off. I definitely need to, and I switched the ribbing. So I also switched the ribbing up to 1x1. I was torn between doing a 1x1 or a 2x2. I did a little swatch on the needles, just working back and forth over like 20 stitches.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, nah, let's just do 1x1. Because also then I didn't have to make sure the stitch count was divisible by 4 plus 2.
Yes.
So I didn't do that. And then my other whip is I am just about at the toes of my Helen Stewart.
Oh yeah, you're very close. Those are so
Magnolia?
Pretty. Yeah.
Magnolia in the color wheel sock yarn that has like little sparkles in it. And this is the sock that I did. I changed the gusset to be a double gusset on the bottom, which I really like how that fits.
That's so pretty.
I have to throw it on. I don't think I need to do another repeat. I'm pretty sure I'm right where the toes are, but I just need to double check. And then I will cast on for the second sock as soon as I'm done with the toe, and that's what I will bring on the airplane. We are going to, oh my gosh, Orlando for spring break.
You're going, when are you leaving?
We are leaving on Saturday, so by the time you have seen this, I'm either on the plane.
Jill will be working on her sock.
I will be working on my sock, and I'm going to try to do the cast on beforehand. I do a slip knot cast on a lot of my top-down socks because it's very, very stretchy. It's also a pain in the neck to do. So I try to get that done.
Cast on?
It's a chain of interconnected slip knots.
Interesting.
It's a pain in the neck, but it is like infinitely stretchy and it doesn't flare.
Nice.
So
You'll have to demonstrate that.
highly
sometime.
recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you might also be able to find it online, like tutorials online under Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast on. I found it under Slipknot cast on as well.
Why don't you find a good one for me?
I will find a good one for you.
Or record one.
Or recording one.
Okay,
because
she'll
it is
find
a
good one.
I'll find a good one. I could record one, not this week.
I'm making
I
a
can't
note.
edit it this week, so it's...
Oh, good. Then we're good. Yeah, so those are the whips that I brought today. I have other whips, but I didn't find them. We're lazy. All right, go ahead, Kathleen.
All right. I was hoping to be. I didn't know you were so close to being finished. I was hoping to be
sorry.
with my row. That's all right.
Sprung it on you.
That's okay. So actually, I mean, I can chat a little bit while I'm working on this before
Sure.
So somebody, we had so many, and we'll get into this more in our, in the our drawing section and talking about our questions and things.
Yes.
But one of the comments that somebody made on the last episode, I think, yeah, it must have been on the last episode, or maybe it was immediately after the last episode went up. Anyway, within our last 2 episodes, somebody made a comment about like really doing what you love, and if you don't love something, frog it. And I feel like I've really been trying to apply that, like in my life. I've gotten so much better about like if I'm not loving a book, if it's my book group book, it's a nice group of people. Sometimes I'll read part of it and go anyway. This time, the book did not sound appealing. I was kind of busy right around the time the book group was. I'm like, I'm skipping this one. It's like you don't have to do everything. It's like it's one of those. Yeah, exactly. And it's like it should be fun. And that was definitely another comment that people made in the tips. Yeah. Tips and warnings. Like if this is our hobby, this is supposed to be our pleasure, right? Yeah. So if it's no longer a pleasure, don't do it.
Yeah, you can rip it out. You can stop.
You can rip it out. So I had a shawl that I loved the yarn. I liked the stitch pattern. It was a hitchhiker basically in LRA Cashmerino Speckle.
Such a pretty yarn.
It's such a pretty yarn. Here it is. But I have realized that I really do not like very shallow, very wide shawls. I just
not.
every time I put one on, I don't wear it that day. Like I put it on and then I take it off. But I said I love the way this looks. I want another. I frogged the shawl last Wednesday. I think after I came home from knit night, I took my hitchhiker and I frogged it.
Oh wow!
I just frogged it and I rolled it into one long ball.
Like,
and
here it is.
This yarn is not. It wasn't knitted as super tight gauge. It wasn't that crinkly. This particular skein actually is catching a little bit. It's a little bit, if I had blocked it or even steamed it, it probably would be better. But whatever. The first 2 skeins I got through no problems at all. I needed a really easy car project because we went up to Massachusetts this past weekend to see Haley in a dance show, which I can give you a couple of pictures. It was so fun. It was like her last big school-related dance performance. But it's so fun. She's doing as a independent study with one of the professors in the dance department a plan for how she can keep dancing after college.
Oh, that's
because even though she doesn't want to be a dancer, it is one of her joys in life.
Yep.
Yeah,
It really is, and
so
it can be hard to decide what you do. So anyway, so that's really fun.
Man. Love it.
Well, she does ballet though. They don't do ballet.
They don't do ballet, but I mean,
no, she loves ballet and contemporary ballet-based contemporary is kind of really her specialty.
Yeah.
So anyway,
just as an FYI, there's a lot of adults who danced ballet when they were younger, want to participate again, and it's fun to do.
Yeah, it is fun to do. So anyway, so we had time in the car, we had time before and after her performances and all that. So I was like, I need a really easy project. So that's right. Yeah, I definitely did frog it right after knit night because I was talking with Jen on Thursday in intermediate class. And I was going to do the math and try to figure out the shawl on my own. Just a really simple, not too shallow triangle of garter. And Jen's like, let me look at my favorites. And she found one called Fluff. That I don't know if you've ever made it, but it is a good one. It is a good one.
It's really cute.
Do you want to take this end? You want to
Sure.
That loose needle?
I got it.
And this. So it is a boomerang shaped shawl. And I am almost done with my 3rd ball of yarn.
Oh,
so
nice.
it is, and I marked, this is the back. I've got my ends coming out here.
Yeah.
But I marked kind of where the transition is from one to the other. So it really is kind of the same look as Hitchhiker, but without the points.
Yeah.
And it's going to be not as wide and not as shallow.
Right.
Perfect.
So it'll
That's
be
exactly what I want.
a little shorter wingspan.
Yep.
And a lot deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And but still have the fabric that you like.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
So I'm really happy I did that. And, literally I started this Friday. Fluff. F-L-U-F-F.
It's written for a silk mohair.
For mohair, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's like,
which is why it's called Fluff.
But if you're looking for the shape.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever.
That would actually be really nice in some of our.
Yeah, I definitely.
Up here.
If depending on how.
That's what I was thinking when you said fluff.
Yeah.
Fluff. This would fluff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So depending on how, I'll see. I assume I'm gonna love wearing this one. So within 2 repeats, you had memorized it. It's very easy to memorize. And it makes a great travel project. But I definitely can see myself making more of these.
Yeah.
So, but let me finish the first one first.
Pretty and garter.
Yeah, it's great for a yarn that looks really good in garter. So yeah, it is. It's so squishy. Feels
so
nice.
That's so nice. That's gonna be so wearable too.
I think so. I loved the look of the fabric and everything, but I just didn't like the shape. So but anyway, so kind of harvested that yarn, put it back in stash for about an hour.
Nice.
Started working on it again. So so this is the end of the 3rd ball, and then I have one more. And actually, if I want to make it bigger, we do still have this yarn. I could even add another one.
You could keep going if you wanted to.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
It's 12:30.
It's keeping me on track.
I know.
It's 12:30. So the thing I thought I was going to work on in the car was something that has been in my queue for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And in my vein of, if you're not loving it, don't do it. It's supposed to be fun, right? And no disrespect to the pattern or anything. It's just like, it was not the right thing for me at this time.
Yeah, it's not fitting you.
It was not fitting me at the time. It's just not what I felt like doing. The Opus pattern by Maxim Sear, I've had in my queue for a while. I had yarn picked out. The funny thing is, this is the yarn I had picked out for the Stephen West mystery knit along
Oh, yes.
years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Which-
The one that you were like, I'm going to do a mystery knit along, and then you were like, no, I'm not.
About 2 days later, no,
Yeah,
really,
like,
I'm not.
no.
I should know myself better. So I've got Metal and Tosh Sock and Citrus, The Last Skein of Kitten in Captivity.
Oh.
Here it is. Love it. Paper, which I put back. Oh no, paper is still here.
Yeah.
Love Tosh paper. Whoops. Oh, yeah. This is my almost frog. This is as far as I got.
You're like, what? You're
I'm like,
nope.
this is not what I want to be doing with my life.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes, yeah.
no, it just, who knows, maybe at another point in time. I love the look of the shawl. I really do.
Yeah.
I knew it was mosaic. I don't mind doing mosaic. I've done other mosaic pieces.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
just wasn't hitting right.
I was not feeling it at the time. Not a vibe. Exactly.
Not a vibe.
So for the second time, I have now, allocated this yarn to, or taking it out of this project. And we'll see what it becomes. But the other good thing is that in deciding I was not going to work on this, I now have the yarn to redo my sleeves on my Tenya.
Oh, excellent.
Which it was around this time. It was actually the coronation, right? I was finishing
Yeah.
this around the time of King Charles's coronation, and I got tired of doing the sleeves, so I called them my coronation sleeves. They definitely are too short. They're an annoying length. So I'm gonna just undo my my ribbing and add on some length.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
then I will wear this, and this
Little
is just
sweater
about
surgery, no one's the
little
wiser.
sweater surgery, exactly. So sweater surgery coming up before the next episode.
Excellent.
But so that is my whips and whips to be.
Nice.
Whips, frogs, and whips to be.
Whips, frogs, and whips.
Should we talk about our giveaway from last week?
We should.
Let's do that, because we've got Amanda for a hot minute.
Yeah, 8 more minutes.
8 more minutes.
All right, 8 minutes, guys.
Let's-
So our question from the last episode is, what is one tip and one warning for a new knitter? And the prize is
You guys had so many good tips.
so many good, and many, and
Yeah. I feel like we should make one of those little books,
Right.
the tiny
Yeah.
ones that has just like the flip through.
Yes, like a little
Yeah.
tips from the Chronicles of Yarnia.
I love it.
Reader,
Yeah.
readers,
We'll-
viewers.
viewers.
We'll leave that to the
exactly.
publisher to think about.
Oh yeah, good luck.
But definitely, if you're
your sleeves.
if you're
Yes.
looking for some tips, go to episode 123.
Right.
Lots
Those
of great
comments
tips
are
and warnings.
Full of
And
great
so
info.
thoughtful too. There's
Yeah.
one, I don't know, sometimes I feel like so much of what you see in the world is like people just being mean to each other, and this was exactly the opposite. It was like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
being really nice and helpful and thoughtful, which of course we expect from
We love it.
our community. We love that.
Love you guys.
So our winner, drawn at random, of people who gave a tip, is the Whitmore 6. He said, congratulations on 4K. Yay, thank you. My tip is to try to add a new technique with each project. Mastered garter stitch, try stockinette. Washcloths are a great way to do this.
Yeah.
So sorry, Amanda has put the tip down below. So,
That's totally what I did when I started knitting.
yeah.
Well, when I got more to knitting, when I started coming to the knitting circle.
Yes. There's like
Yeah,
new projects.
And
Totally
actually,
new thing.
work at your own pace, do what you like. After all, hobbies are supposed to be fun.
Yes.
Exactly. So,
Agreed.
so even though I only picked this last night, I was already following your advice.
Yes.
Hobbies are supposed
Yes.
to be fun.
It's supposed to be fun.
Keep that in mind, definitely. So, yeah. So
What do they win?
they win their choice of either a 3.5 or 5-inch tip set of Leica needles.
Woohoo!
Of any that we have in stock. So of any of the driftwood. So we've got the blush, we've got the indigo, we've got the purple case.
That's awesome. That's a good deal.
I mean, I'll give you a picture to put in to show
Cool.
some of the selection of things.
Yeah. And then if you prefer crochet.
We have
Also
hooks
have
as well.
crochet
We
hooks.
we can do
Yeah.
a set of like a driftwood crochet hooks,
Yeah.
Yes.
which we have I think in indigo and the blush right now.
Ah.
But we will see what we have. Whatever we have,
Like crochet hooks. That's
you
my
can
fave.
you can
Yeah,
pick
they're
from.
really nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, and then the other thing we should chat. So, congratulations to the Whitmore 6, and thanks for commenting, everybody. So we still have hashtag opinion, new in store, and new drawing to do.
All right. So what?
Well, do hashtag opinion because I'll do my
Yes,
first.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yes,
5
sorry,
minutes.
of course.
Hashtag opinion.
All right. So, our opinion question is: I have tried every style known to man, but still cannot speed up in knitting. how do I go about knitting faster?
Yeah.
So
my tip would be to knit slower. So what
interesting.
What that means is if you've pushed the limits of speed for the technique of knitting that you're doing, whether that's, throwing or, whatever, you're going to need to change your technique in order to speed up.
Mm-hmm.
And to change your technique, that means you're going to have, you have to sort of start at the basics and go slow for a while and train your muscles to do something different. So you're going to have to think of a project. Like when I was changing I started out, and I think I've mentioned this before, combination knitting. I taught myself from 4 pictures on the back of the bus.
Yep.
Right? And stockinette showed up. Yay! But what I was doing was I was knitting through the back loop and purling, reversing my pearls.
Yeah,
You
you're wrapping your
twisting
pearls the wrong way,
Right.
which twists your stitch.
Which really gave me a problem 15 years down the road when I wanted to do lace, and they're like, and now knit through the back loop, and I'm like,
that is how I knit.
right, exactly. How is that different? Why are we specifying this in the directions?
Why are we suddenly talking about this?
So to change, I actually learned how to knit continental in the standard way. I was already holding my yarn in my left hand. I was just knitting through the back loop, not through the front loop. But chose a very basic project. So a corner to corner shawl that was in stockinette. That means I got pearls on one side and knits on the other.
Yeah.
And it was huge. I think 4 skeins of DK.
Oh, wow.
In just flat stockinette.
Wow.
That is a lot of stockinette.
Yep. And that was the only thing I took on a business trip to Las Vegas. And knit and purled the whole way. And so I think, like we talked about last time, it takes 10,000 stitches to really cement a new technique in your head.
Yeah.
That means I needed 20,000 stitches, 10,000
Because you had 2 techniques,
pearls.
basically, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, but then I was building from a foundation that would let me eventually get that muscle memory and speed up. But step 1 is to slow down and go back to basics.
I think that's really good
I like
advice.
that. I like that.
I'll also say, if you're a tight knitter, you're always going to be a little bit slower. And it's just because you have to scoot your stitches along. So like, I'm a loose knitter, partially because I keep my yarn free flowing. I don't stop in retention and stop in retention and stop in retention.
Yeah.
And which is not how I was taught. But because I'm a loose knitter and my yarn flows and I'm not really tensioning my yarn. So like, because I'm a loose knitter, I'm not really tensioning my yarn. Because I don't really tension my yarn, I'm a loose knitter, right? Like
Yeah.
The two go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But my stitches flow on the needle and my yarn flows in my hand. So I don't ever have to stop really and like scooch, and I don't have to like move things along.
Yeah.
I will say sometimes it's also your needle material. I prefer pointy, slippery needles because of the way that I knit. And I knit continental, and I don't really tension my yarn, and I minimize my movements as much as possible. And I'm a lefty, my movements are driven with my left hand. If you're a righty, your movements can be driven with your right hand. And I do think in general continental is faster than English, but the fastest knitters in the world are often English knitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just minimizing your movements.
Efficiency. But you have to practice making small movements because it's not going to feel natural at first.
Yeah. And like you said, you got to slow down and kind of look at.
You have to think about every motion you're making.
Right. And especially if it's not coming naturally, thinking about it takes time. So you're told like it all. You're right. It's like you just got to slow it down. Slow it down.
Yep.
So I have 2 thoughts on it. One is like just working closer to the tips of your needles. Honestly, I think a lot of people that are slower knitters tend to work further back, which also can, just my observation from seeing people knit at knit night and things like that. That also helps with the, with your tension to some degree, with the size of your stitches, because if you're having to compensate and readjust, and some people do it pretty automatically, like without even really realizing it, but it does take time.
But you don't want to form your stitches on the
definitely
tips.
No, I don't. I mean, toward the tips, not
towards the tips.
Towards the tips,
Yeah,
not
gotcha.
on the tips. I mean,
Gotcha.
some people are working like
way
a solid
far
half inch, past where they need to be, basically,
Right.
for forming the stitch to the right size. The other thing that I would say though is, I know you might want to knit faster and everything. Again, it's supposed to be fun.
Right.
Don't make it just embrace, as Stephen West would say, embrace your pace, right? Like do
that.
what is comfortable for you. And then, I think like a lot of things, like if you relax and you're not focusing on it so much, you may gain a little bit of speed in not focusing on it so much.
Yeah,
So,
not stressing yourself out.
yeah. I mean, I'm not the fastest knitter. I'm not the slowest knitter either, and it's like, as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, sure, would I love to make like an extra few sweaters a year? Of course I would. But at the same time, I want to enjoy what I'm doing. And so
Yeah.
I'd say don't push it too much.
Yeah.
So there we go.
All
right. 3 different opinions. Love it. As usual.
And now I'm going to go.
All right.
So, bye, Amanda.
I will.
So Amanda has run off to catch her train. Bye.
Off to the city. Bye,
Have fun.
Amanda.
But we have some stuff that is new in store that we're sitting right in front of, that is so pretty. This is the Juniper Moon Farm Cotton Plus Merino, organic cotton and 19 micron merino wool. If this looks familiar,
Somewhat
to you,
familiar.
this is very similar to a couple of different styles of yarn, including the Katia cotton merino that we had, where it's a tube of cotton with the merino blown in. But this is even better because these balls are...
They're 100-gram
They're
balls
100-gram
instead of
balls.
50, which, as much as I loved the Katia cotton merino, it's
So many
just
little balls.
annoying to have so many little balls.
I love the 100-gram balls. And also, like, the colorways are so pretty on this. So this is essentially worsted, right?
It is a worsted,
It's a worsted weight.
and
So soft.
it's a new yarn. They started with 12 colors. We have all of them.
Yeah.
So this is the full gamut,
Full
which
range.
I love the gold. Got to decide what I'm going to make with that.
The teal, the blue,
Nice teal.
the
I even like
pretty-
the pale green. Isn't it? It's like a
I like
pistachio
that. That's
green.
a nice pale green.
It's a nice pale green.
And like the red, the pink. There's white underneath your hats.
Oh yes, there's more into the hats.
We have
Yes.
white and of course orange.
And look at the nice. That's like coral, kind of. I would say.
Yeah, that's
Come
really
on.
pretty.
Oh, I love
Oh,
that.
it's perfect.
Come.
And I love the 2 grays.
Yep.
This is so nice. This is such a beautiful, beautiful yarn. A great put up. How much is it for a ball?
They are 20 each.
That's great.
Yeah. For 229 yards. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Seisha had made, what is it, a turtle dove?
Yes.
Out of the Katya? That would be beautiful. And
Yep.
like
Exactly.
this.
Yeah. Good transitional weight, because it
Yeah.
is it's 70% cotton, so and wool is self-regulating temperature.
Yeah, wool self-regulating, and it's got like a fuzz, but it also has really good stitch definition, which you don't necessarily would realize with this. That it's got both
that
the
you get
halo
both
and
in
the
the
stitch
same
definition.
Yeah, the
Cables
same
in
thing.
this would look beautiful.
Yes.
Because they're just like, it glows like that kind of tonal thing.
Mhm.
So this is going to be, the cotton merino is going to be our giveaway.
Yes, a skein of this.
A skein of this in any color that you want. This would also make a lovely hat
Mhm.
or a cowl.
I
a
think
lacy
actually
cowl.
we have a sample cowl
Ooh,
because this excuse me, all of a sudden I can't talk. This just came in, and we do have a place. Sometimes
brand
we get our samples before we get the actual shipment of the yarn, and I think we got a honey cowl in this.
Oh, so
Before.
nice. I love the honey cowl.
Yeah.
That's Antonia Shanklin's pattern, and this would be beautiful in the honey cowl.
Yeah. I'm
True
gonna
color.
see if I can find that.
Love it.
And if so, I will pop a picture and so you can see how pretty it looks worked up into that. So our question, we were talking earlier about the cherry blossoms and all of that. What is something fun that you like to do in the spring?
Yeah.
Is there a family
It's kind of-
tradition or just something that you look forward to as the weather is warming up?
I know. That's a good question, because I was trying to think, like, what do we like to do in the spring? But I realized, like, this is when soccer season starts. So we like to go to many, many soccer games. So it's spring soccer season. And then Max is doing ultimate frisbee, so the same thing. So I'm like, our weekends are game weekends. But that's actually kind of fun.
It's kind of fun.
We're not super jockey people. But, like, it's fun to watch them play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always nice. And we always go get ice cream afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't like ice cream?
One thing that I love in the spring is eating outdoors. I really do. And it's funny. We were joking because we had our dog with us this past weekend when we went to see Haley. And, you know, during the pandemic, more places were dog friendly and all. And also it happened to be Easter weekend, which at the time I made our reservations, it just did not click for me. It was just the show weekend. I didn't know. And Easter was really early this year. So a lot of the restaurants in the area were closed. Others were, you know, they were all booked up.
Doing like their Easter
and everything.
Brunch.
So we were able to eat outside on a patio, someplace really nice that had a lovely Easter brunch. And, you know, even though it was a little chilly, I think a lot of us during the pandemic got used to outdoor dining at lower temperatures.
Bring a shawl.
Bring a shawl, bring a nice light jacket.
But it's so nice.
And then
it's like,
I do love that. There's something just nice about eating outside.
Yeah, I like it when the patio's open.
Yeah,
it's a nice one.
And
That's
actually,
a really nice one.
We're lucky. At our house, we have a big patio, a big covered patio right off the kitchen. So anytime the weather is nice, it's just so nice to eat out there.
And I do like knitting outside. We have a back porch now with a porch swing, and it's covered.
Nice.
So even if it's like a warm, rainy day, or like misty and hazy, like it's a good place to sit. Yeah. Although I have to get the kids to wipe it down. That's the job. I just realized that this mint is called Bubble Mint.
I saw that.
How cute is that? They did well with the names on this. Mm-hmm. So anyway, comment below and tell us what you guys like to do in spring. Yeah. And you can win your choice of a skein of the Juniper Moon Cotton Merino. I'm really glad that we got this yarn. This was one where I'm like, it's just such a great, interesting, you know.
Well, it's a little different. There aren't too many things like it. You know. It's,
It's awesome.
It's a good transitional. Transitional yarn.
Yes.
Yep.
So I think that pretty much does it for us.
I think so.
Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Really appreciate
as always.
Make sure to follow us online. We're at Shop Yarnia on everything from Facebook to Instagram to Snapchat, I think. And then obviously Chronicles of Yarnia here. You can like and subscribe. And then we're going to be sending out a newsletter with all of the details of what's coming up for the Wool Walk, New Jersey Wool Walk. So feel free to go to our website, shopyarnia.com, and scroll down to the bottom of the page and sign up for the newsletter. You can get all the details then.
And actually, one thing we haven't said on the podcast, but we might as well mention because, you know, we've reached different people this way than other ways. If you are local, we are still looking for another team member.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, we are. So, we have a page on our website, Working at Yarnia. Take a look there. And again, Jen's been putting it in the newsletter the last couple of weeks. We have had a couple of people apply, but people who didn't meet the qualifications.
We do have some qualifications that are kind of necessary for working in a yarn store. But it's all listed in the listing. If that sounds cool to you, check it out. And all right, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.